When people talk about Apple's biggest and most influential products, the first names that usually come up are the iPhone, the MacBook, or the iPad. These devices dominate Apple's marketing events, grab headlines around the world, and often end up shaping the direction of the entire consumer tech industry. But quietly sitting in the background, often overlooked or even dismissed as unnecessary, is another Apple product, the Apple TV 4K. For years, this small black box has been treated as an afterthought, a niche gadget for those deeply invested in the Apple ecosystem. But if the latest leaks and analyst reports are to be believed, 2025 could finally be the year this product breaks out of its shadow and becomes one of Apple's most important devices. The changes rumored for this generation are not just incremental. We're talking about the possibility of Apple TV becoming the centerpiece of your living room, the hub of your smart home, and even a serious contender in spaces once dominated by gaming consoles, streaming sticks, and video communication platforms. What once looked like just another way to watch Netflix could transform into a versatile device with multiple roles. And this evolution might finally give Apple TV the mainstream recognition Apple has always hoped for. To understand why 2025 could be such a turning point, it helps to look at where the Apple TV 4K stands today. The current third-generation model, released in late 2022, is already far more powerful than most people realize. It's powered by Apple's A15 Bionic chip, the same one that drove flagship iPhones just a couple of years ago. That level of hardware in a streaming box is unusual, especially when you compare it to devices like Roku, Chromecast, with Google TV, or Amazon Fire TV sticks that cost a fraction of the price and use much weaker internals. Thanks to the A15, the Apple TV delivers incredibly smooth 4K video playback, complete with HDR 10+, Dolby Vision for vibrant, lifelike colors, and Dolby Atmos for immersive, theater-style audio. Watching a movie on Apple TV genuinely feels different compared to using a cheap stick. You get richer visuals, smoother motion, and sound that fills the room. The power of the A15 also enables something many people overlook: gaming. Through Apple Arcade, the Apple TV can run surprisingly complex titles with smooth performance. Apps load quickly, menus feel responsive, and the experience is silky compared to the lag and occasional stutters found on cheaper alternatives. But here's the problem. Most consumers don't buy an Apple TV at $129. It costs more than double or even triple what competitors charge. And for the average person who just wants to watch Netflix, Prime Video, or YouTube, a $40 stick gets the job done. This has been Apple's central challenge for years, justifying the premium price when alternatives feel good enough. But performance alone isn't enough to make this vision work. Connectivity matters just as much, and Apple seems ready to deliver here too. The current Apple TV supports Wi-Fi 6, which is solid. But the next model is rumored to leapfrog to Wi-Fi 7. That might sound like another marketing buzzword, but Wi-Fi 7 brings real, meaningful upgrades. It promises dramatically faster speeds, lower latency, more stable connections, crucial for smooth 4K HDR streaming, online multiplayer gaming, and especially cloud gaming. Cloud gaming, through services like Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now, is growing rapidly. If Apple supports these platforms or strengthens its own arcade offerings, Wi-Fi 7 could make Apple TV a dream device for streaming games without lag. Combine that with upgraded Bluetooth-likely version, 5.3 or higher, and you've got seamless pairing with controllers, AirPods, sound systems, and third-party accessories. In practical terms, that means less fiddling with settings and more time enjoying content. It also means Apple TV could finally deliver on that Apple promise. Everything just works. One of the most intriguing leaks about the 2025 Apple TV is the addition of a built-in camera. At first glance, this sounds unnecessary. After all, we all have cameras on our iPhones, iPads, and Macs, but the implications are massive. Imagine taking a FaceTime call, not on your small phone screen, but on your giant living room TV. You sit comfortably on the couch. The camera automatically adjusts to keep you in frame and suddenly video calls feel cinematic. This feature would make family catch-ups more engaging and natural, turning FaceTime into a living room experience rather than a personal one. Beyond calls, a built-in camera opens up possibilities like gesture controls, allowing you to navigate menus or play games with simple hand movements. It could also revolutionize Apple Fitness Plus, making workouts more interactive by tracking your movements and improving accuracy. And looking even further ahead, this could tie into Apple's Vision Pro and augmented reality strategies, creating AR-like interactions in your living room. What was once just a box for streaming could now become a communication hub, fitness trainer, and even part of a larger AR ecosystem. Of course, hardware is only half the equation. Software is where Apple has always excelled, and the new Apple TV is expected to launch with tvOS 26. This update is rumored to introduce a bold new design language called Liquid Glass, which promises an interface that feels futuristic, immersive, and alive. Imagine menus that shimmer like holograms and transitions that feel more fluid than ever. But it's not just about looks. tvOS 26 is expected to deliver smarter personalization, profiles that remember not only what you watched, but also what you're likely to want next. AirPlay will become sharper and more responsive, making it even easier to share content from your iPhone or Mac. Accessibility features will expand, ensuring more inclusivity. And perhaps most importantly, Siri is finally getting a much-needed upgrade. Apple's digital assistant has long lagged behind Alexa and Google Assistant. But with Apple's recent AI push, Siri is expected to become more conversational and intelligent. On Apple TV, that could mean asking Siri to play a sci-fi movie I haven't seen yet and instantly getting a recommendation. While your HomeKit lights dim automatically and your speakers adjust for a cinematic experience, this is the kind of seamless integration that could turn Apple TV into the brain of your entire smart home. But all of this potential only matters if Apple fixes the biggest barrier: price. Historically, Apple TV's premium cost has limited its audience. It's a tough sell compared to Roku or Fire TV, but whispers suggest Apple may finally be planning a major shift. With the possibility of a sub-$100 Apple TV 4K, this would be a game changer. Why? Because Apple doesn't rely on hardware margins. Here the real money is in services. Once you own the Apple TV, you're more likely to subscribe to Apple TV Plus for shows, Apple Arcade for games, Fitness Plus for workouts, Apple Music for audio, and iCloud for storage. By lowering the price of entry, Apple could massively expand the Apple TV user base, locking more people into its ecosystem and making the device a gateway to everything else Apple offers. It's the same strategy that worked with the iPod and iPhone: get people in with a great product at a fair price, and then expand their engagement through services. For years, the Apple TV has been labeled as niche, something only die-hard Apple fans cared about. But 2025 could be the year that changes. With all these rumored upgrades, it could finally become a